folks, Wayne Taylor, Honest Home Finder, out in Richburg today, and please forgive me if I forget that and start calling it Chester. It's the Chester exit off of 77 is the way I always think about it. But we're at Knightsbridge with LGI Homes. I've done a couple of their communities in the past, and it brings up a lot of nostalgia for me. I used to work solely with first-time home buyers, and this is a first-time home buyer neighborhood with, thank goodness, knock wood, it stays that way, first-time home buyer pricing. Alrighty, made it in. Overcast day, got my fingers crossed that it's not gonna rain on us. LGI Homes, if I'm repeating myself from outside, it's because I started the video over again because I was a babbling fool. One of the things I'm gonna point out, just to get it off my chest, I love rounded corners. I wish all builders did that. It's the first time that I started in the business. I've just thought that was a great feature. Might be a completely useless feature. I've just always liked it. So Ashley, a little bit under 1,700 square feet. I love neighborhoods that start out with price points that a first-time home buyer could actually reach for. I spent a lot of the first part of my career working with first-time home buyers, and it does, touch me a little bit when you realize that with a lot of the new homes out there nowadays, and it's not builders being completely greedy, it's just the way the world works right now. A lot of things are way more expensive, especially in our area. So even though we are in Richburg, and I hope you'll forgive me if I call this area Chester, it's just at the Chegzer exit on 65 off of 77, Interstate 77, exit 65. That's the way I think of it. I don't think of it as being Richburg, even though the lovely town of Richburg is right here. Or area. I don't know if there's actually a town. Right now, one of the few builders, and I think a lot more are coming back to it, appliance packages. This is what you're going to get when you move in. You don't get the washer and dryer, so don't get crazy about that. But everything in that kitchen that you'll see on my videos are empty in a lot of builders, you get with LGI Homes. And I did get the explanation on that, because that was a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, just that teensy little, barely up the code, I'm not even calling it pad, little piece of concrete, is in their market research on this price point and how they build homes and who they provide them for. It's not a big deal to them. They would much rather have the savings on the home and put out whatever they want there versus you know what I'm talking about, 10 by 10, 12 by 12 cement patio. And I agreed. And that's a personal thing with me. If you've ever been on those patios before, in the summertime, and we are in the South, and they just radiate heat blasting up into you. Instead of something like that, I would put pavers out myself, or even just having a step out onto that, going up into a deck. So here is a buyer's agent actually agreeing with the builder on something that at first glance I thought was a little chintzy, and their explanation makes sense to me. So I think we've got enough. The first floor of the Ashley. Let's head on upstairs. Alrighty, made it up. We're gonna scoot through this one fairly quickly. I just wanted you to be able to see everything. Of course, upstairs, then you have the upstairs primary suite. You're gonna get the laundry room upstairs. The linen closet upstairs, a couple of secondary bedrooms coming up next. These aren't huge rooms, but it's not a huge home. I feel like I talk about that too much, but I like to point it out that because I do take a lot of videos of these $500,000 and $600,000 homes, and they have a couple of the special finishing touches. That's not what this neighborhood is designed for. That's not LGI's business model. They're not shy about it. And I like that part. I always hate people that try to act like they're more than what they are. Well, this builder doesn't. They know what they're building, and the focus is on happy customers. Something solid, dependable, just doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Fine. That's kind of how I live my life sometimes. You want to see my car? Been in business for 16 years, and I've never even thought about buying a BMW. My little Nissan does great. Master, a raised ceiling, I like that. Because it's just a feature. You get less attic space, but it just makes the room feel bigger when it's an optical illusion. Square footage wise, you don't get any extra. But it's that feel, and sometimes the feeling makes just as much sense as reality. All right, Ashley, I think it's the second video I've made of you. It's feeling just the same way as I did the first time. We appreciate it, LGI. Hey, my buyer's incentive guys, top of your screen, hit me up.